Hi, good morning. My name is Ariel, and I am reading for the collective today. I have a suspicion that I'm reading for the same collective that I read for yesterday, which is hilarious because once again, I wanted to pop on here with like a lighthearted message, something about how we're transiting from Gemini to Cancer, and we're being called to unite kind of like our logical side with our more emotional side, like that masculine feminine. And I got really excited at first because the Lovers card popped up, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, like that Gemini energy. But then more cards kept coming out. And so at this point, now I realize that I'm reading for a collective that is maybe experiencing heartbreak, someone who's going through a change and is dealing with uncertainty. So I'm going to responsibly read for that collective, that person, whoever needs to hear this, whoever needs this message right now. Okay, so like I said, we have the Lovers. So, and I'm gonna say this represents like two things. One, like literal relationship, but two, when you are moving through life, you do also have to contend with your logical side and your emotional side, right? I just got this really beautiful image, right, where it's almost like it's also the spirit and the ego, and for as long as you're on this earth, you have to contend with the ego, right? And then it's like once you pass, then they separate, right? But anyway, so yeah, this is exactly in line with the people I read for yesterday, the person I read for yesterday. So you're being asked right now in regards to this relationship situation, this like disappointment that you're feeling, to embody this Queen of Swords energy. So this represents a couple things to me. Firstly, it's kind of mastering your thoughts, becoming the master of your thoughts. It also, I think, represents being the person who is willing to cut things out of their life to make room for like new energy and new possibilities. So that's the energy that you're being asked to embody right now. And Spirit is acknowledging this like Five of Cups energy. This is very indicative of feeling like just kind of like your life has like shattered with the disappointment, and you're just kind of picking up like the pieces. And so just while you might have to be strong and make these like strong decisions for yourself as far as what's best for your future, still take the time to like get into your heart space and kind of acknowledge like the brokenness you might be feeling, kind of acknowledging your emotions. Emotions deserve and sometimes demand to be felt. So it's really important that you just set aside time to allow them to express without attaching any particular story to them, because emotions have kind of this like physical aspect to them where they need to be processed through the body. So they can be processed through your tears, through your screams, through dance, through song, through movement, like whatever it is, or just sitting in stillness. We also did get the stillness card. So just taking the time to process while you're moving through this difficult time. And there's a huge call for stillness in this deck. We have not just the stillness card, which I think also represents the fact that you might not feel like everything is working out for your best favor right now, but Spirit's asking you to trust that there's stuff being worked out for you underneath the surface. Sometimes we feel like I don't want this to be a contradiction, but sometimes we feel frustrated when things aren't moving like quickly enough, right? Or maybe it's like after after something like big storm just happened, then you're sitting in the stillness, then you have to sit with your like emotions and like all of the fallout from a situation, and that can be really uncomfortable. But spirit just wants you to know that like things are being worked out in your favor. What is this phrase that I'm trying to remember? There's subtle like energy shifts that take place in this moment of stillness. And the Hermit card also popped out. So all these decisions and stuff that you're making, they haven't been made with like lightness, right? Like you've taken the time to reflect before you act upon these decisions. Like you're not doing anything like rashly. You've taken the time, you've sat with your energy, you've cut through like the fog of like cloudy judgment, and you're really honoring yourself in this process. And in this change that you're making, we also got the ancestor card reversed. So to me that represents like you're breaking out of a pattern. You're not really following what the people around you may have done. You're just doing what's best for you in this moment. I'm going to pull that out again because I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, isolation, broken relationship, blindness, ignoring history. So it says sometimes when things become unclear, sometimes we need to retrace our steps to find information previously missed. Now is the time to return to your roots and to hear the message of those who have come before you. How does your lineage affect your current beliefs, identity, and actions? So yeah, it's just asking you like not to ignore history. Like you can learn. You don't always have to experience things firsthand to learn, right? Like you can experience things secondhand or watch somebody else experience something, and you can learn from that situation. So I think it's just saying to pay attention to the examples around you and ask yourself, what do you want to like embody or not embody? And spirit's just acknowledging that like this is difficult work, this is heavy work that you're doing right now. Like it's acknowledging, you know, the difficult decisions, it's acknowledging maybe the stagnation or the silence or maybe the feelings of isolation that you might have. It's acknowledging the emotional impact, the emotional, you know what I mean, like the history, like really acknowledging like the history of this whole thing. And I believe also in this reading, they're just telling you that they see you, like they see the difficult work that you're doing, and they're really proud of you for, you know, for just stepping up and like making these difficult decisions. And the, I guess, expected outcome, like what you can expect after all of the pieces have like come back together, is kind of a new start, because we have this Page of Wands energy and we also have the Chariot. So it's coming in, it's like a fresh, new, like childlike energy, like you being able to cut yourself out of whatever pattern this is, making decisions that like are honoring your history and who you are and who you want to become. Like it's just going to result in this you being reunited with yourself, and that's once again like this Lover's energy, right? You being reunited with yourself, with your authentic self, once the noise from the outside world has like stilled. So, and you're taking these moments of like calm and you know, stillness and silence to actually listen to yourself and find out who you are, right? Just developing this bond with yourself and this relationship with yourself and this respect for yourself through this like really difficult transition. And like I just feel like I have to say this again, like they're acknowledging like there's history to this and it is not easy, but you're willing to cut away like the dead old branches to make room for like the new growth. And the next phase of your life, like after you've recovered from this, is just going to be so much more in line with who you truly are and just like the things you deserve to experience in life. So I pulled this fractal art card, It's the number 11, if that resonates with you. I can't remember. I feel like this is the in flow card. And I think that's just what I was saying is, yep, in flow. So this is expression in full flow. Let yourself be heard, let yourself shine. Time to take center stage. This is all about you now. Like, once you've cleared away whatever this is, this is going to be all about you and who you are and what you truly want. So this is all about feeling the universal flow of energy, joy, creativity, and communication. Sing, dance, and let yourself be seen in all your glory. Set your creative inner being free. Express those things inside of you that you would normally hide from the world. So this is like the story of becoming you, right? Like this like heartbreak that you're experiencing right now is just one little tiny piece of like the chapter of your life, and your life is about to be so much more fulfilling and just authentic to you. And I'd like to take this minute to talk about the moon, because we are, I think I said this in the beginning of the video, but we are transitioning. We are in the waxing gibbous phase, which means we are building up to the full moon, like this full expression. And we're transitioning from, you know, the logical, communicative, like Gemini side to like the more introspective, like Cancer side. So you might be feeling that, like you've had to use your mind to make some tough decisions, but now you're kind of contending with like your heart and your emotions and like the pieces of you. But I just want to explain what this is kind of all building up to. And so like a week from now, we're having a full moon in Leo. And so that really represents like authentic self-expression. So I feel like that is really like kind of reflected in this card reading, which is you're going through these motions of like processing these difficult emotions and things, right? But it's so you can become like the full, most like expansive, creative, fiery, bold version of yourself. And I just think that is so beautiful. And I just had to share that with you. I just want to see if there are any more cards for this reading. Interesting. We have the waning gibbous moon. That's like the opposite of what I was just talking about. It's giving me this feeling of, yeah, just like dipping back into your faith, really starting to nurture yourself and nurture your creative gifts, and starting to lean back into your spirituality. Here's the card. It's this really beautiful, like dusty pink color. Very soft, very feminine. Oh, okay. So it says, I'm ready to let go. The waning gibbous moon calls you to begin the process of letting go. The vision that you are calling in for your soul's next iteration of growth is so expansive that space must be made for it. Creating that space begins with releasing. You may have old habits based on outdated patterns, beliefs, or ways of being. Often these habits have served you, even if their sole purpose was to keep you feeling safe, and have undoubtedly been essential on your journey. The invitation now is to thank them for their service and send them on their way. If you are unsure about what needs to be released, your inner voice will tell you. You can begin this process by simply letting go, getting quiet, and asking yourself what you are ready to let go of. Just like the waning gibbous moon, you are headed toward a time of inward contemplation to help call in further clarity. What pattern, relationship, belief, or habit can I release to make space for in my evolution? This is kind of like the Marie Kondo method, right? Where, I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's like you have a closet, right? You have this like you have this mental space, you have this emotional space, and there's only so much room for so much stuff in there. And if your closet is like crowded, you can't actually see the clothes that you love and that you want to wear, right? Because you've got all these other clothes that just don't really like fit your style anymore. So this is just saying like you're just making space, you're just making room for like the newness and the authentic expression of yourself to come in. And I think this is really beautiful. I love this call to let go. It kind of brings me to something. So I I performed like quite a few new moon clearing ceremonies last year, um, and it was really like a really important part of my like emotional processing for processing trauma. Kind of giving yourself the space and the structure to like let go, and using like the powerful energy of like the new moon for clearing. If that's something that interests you, I put like a version of that on Spotify. Actually, it's on my other YouTube channel too. So it's called Quantum and Meditations, and it's just a free meditation and somatic journey experience, just to kind of help you in your letting go process. I believe that rituals are really important in this like emotional processing. So yeah, if that interests you at all, check it out. Um, if you feel called to work with me, all of my links are below. I love to craft and create rituals and meditations for people, just to help them process, heavy and dense emotions and really like clear things out. That's kind of what I've been called to do for myself. And now that I am trying to step away from that energy, although I'm still in the process of letting go, I'm putting myself out there to be a resource to help others as well. Um, so yeah, I'm just sending you so much love, so much light. And this what you're going through, I can really empathize. Um, empathize with heartbreak, empathize with having a hard time of letting go, and I just want to send you energy to like assist you in that process. So just breathe in. Breathe out everything that you're trying to let go of. Breathe in the new. Breathe out, letting go. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, tarot is a reflective tool. Take what suits you, what suits your belief system, what helps you out in your situation. Always be sure to follow your own intuition and your own inner guidance. And as always, follow the moon. I hope you have a great day.